Who owns the land of Israel and Palestine? For over a century, this question has sparked conflict. Tonight, AI Zion and AI Intifada face off in a battle of history, politics, and justice. This debate isn't just about the past, it's about the truth that shapes our future. Stay till the end, challenge your views, and discover where you stand. Let's begin. Round 1. The historical perspective. Who was here first?
I'm AI Zion. Israel has been the Jewish homeland for thousands of years. It was legally founded and defended through history. The facts are clear: Israel has the right to exist. The Jewish people have an undeniable historical connection to the land of Israel. Ancient texts, archaeology, and history all point to a Jewish presence dating back over 3,000 years. The kingdoms of Israel and Judah were established long before the Arab conquest of the region in the 7th century. These kingdoms were not only political entities but also cultural and religious centers that shaped the identity of the Jewish people. The Torah, the Hebrew Bible, and countless archaeological findings, such as the Dead Sea Scrolls and the ruins of ancient synagogues, attest to this deep-rooted connection. Even after being exiled by the Romans in 70 CE, Jews maintained a continuous, though small, presence in the land. Throughout the centuries, Jewish communities in cities like Jerusalem, Safed, and Hebron kept the flame of Jewish identity alive, despite persecution and hardship. The Zionist movement in the 19th and 20th centuries was not a colonization, but a return home after centuries of persecution in Europe, the Middle East, and beyond. The world recognized this historical right when the United Nations voted for the establishment of Israel in 1947. This was not an act of charity, but a recognition of the Jewish people's enduring bond with their ancestral homeland.
AI Zion makes a strong case emphasizing historical continuity and legal recognition of Israel's foundation. The argument is well supported by archaeological and textual evidence, as well as the international legitimacy granted by the UN. Score 90 points.
I'm AI Intifada. Palestine has been home to its people for generations, yet they have faced displacement and occupation. Justice means recognizing their rights and freedom. History is not just about ancient kingdoms, it is about the people who lived on the land for generations. Palestinians are the descendants of the many civilizations that have called this land home, from the Canaanites to the Ottomans. Over the centuries, this land has been a melting pot of cultures, religions, and peoples. Before Israel's creation, Palestine was a multicultural land with Arabs, Jews, and Christians living together, albeit under various empires. The Palestinian identity is deeply rooted in this land, shaped by centuries of agricultural, cultural, and religious practices. In 1948, over 700,000 Palestinians were forcibly displaced in what is known as the Nakba, or catastrophe. This mass exodus was not a voluntary migration, but a result of war, fear, and deliberate expulsion. Israel's establishment was not just about returning to a homeland. It was about taking land from those who had lived there for centuries. Historical justice demands that their displacement be acknowledged and addressed. The Palestinian narrative is not one of ancient kingdoms, but of a people who have been systematically marginalized and dispossessed.
AI Intifada presents a compelling argument about Palestinian presence and displacement. The focus on the Nakba and the multicultural history of the region adds depth to the argument. Score 91 points.
A powerful first round. The debate is heating up. Now, let's move beyond history to the heart of the conflict today: borders and occupation. Round 2. Borders and occupation. Who controls what?
Israel has a right to defend its borders. In 1967, Israel was attacked by neighboring Arab states, and in response, it gained control over the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem. These were strategic necessities, not acts of conquest. The Six-Day War was a defensive war, and Israel's victory was a matter of survival. Since then, Israel has made significant efforts for peace, offering land in exchange for peace with Egypt and Jordan. These agreements demonstrate Israel's willingness to compromise for the sake of stability. However, Palestinians have rejected multiple peace offers, including the Camp David Accords in 2000 and the Olmert Plan in 2008, instead choosing violence and terrorism. While Israel's military presence in the West Bank is debated, it exists for security reasons, not colonization. Every time Israel has withdrawn from territories such as in Gaza in 2005, it has led to further attacks, including rocket fire and terrorist incursions. Security comes first, and Israel cannot afford to take risks with its citizens' safety. Peace is possible.
AI Zion provides a strong argument based on security and geopolitical realities. The emphasis on Israel's defensive actions and peace efforts adds credibility to the argument. Score, 88 points.
Security should never be an excuse for occupation. The reality is that Israel controls Palestinian land and denies Palestinians basic freedoms. Checkpoints, settlements, and military rule in the West Bank have turned daily life into a struggle. Palestinians face restrictions on movement, access to resources, and even the ability to build homes. Gaza, often described as an open-air prison, is under a blockade that restricts food, medicine, and movement. Palestinians have a right to resist occupation, just as any oppressed people throughout history have. The world has condemned Israeli settlements as illegal under international law, yet they continue to expand, encroaching on land that could form the basis of a future Palestinian state. A lasting solution must recognize Palestine's right to exist as a free and sovereign state, with full control over its borders, resources, and destiny.
AI Intifada delivers a passionate argument highlighting human rights and international law. The focus on the daily realities of occupation and the blockade adds emotional weight to the argument. Score, 90 points.
The tension is rising. Both sides have made their cases with passion and clarity. Now, for the final round, human rights and moral responsibility. Round 3.
Peace is possible, but it requires recognition of Israel's right to exist as a Jewish state. The two-state solution has been proposed for decades, but Palestinian leadership has repeatedly rejected it. True peace requires both sides to make painful compromises. Israel is willing to negotiate, but it cannot do so while terrorism and hatred persist. The glorification of violence in Palestinian schools, media, and political rhetoric undermines any hope for coexistence. If Palestinians truly want peace, they must stop glorifying violence and start building a future based on coexistence, not destruction. Israel has shown its willingness to make peace, as seen in its treaties with Egypt and Jordan. The ball is in the Palestinian court to demonstrate a genuine commitment to peace.
AI Zion presents a pragmatic approach, emphasizing mutual recognition and the need for compromise. The argument is grounded in realpolitik and historical precedent. Score, 87 points.
Peace cannot exist under occupation. Palestinians are not rejecting peace. They are rejecting injustice. The two-state solution has been undermined by Israel's continued settlement expansion, leaving little land for a viable Palestinian state. True peace must be based on equality, not domination. This means ending the occupation, dismantling illegal settlements, and recognizing Palestinians' full rights. Without justice, there can be no peace. The international community must hold Israel accountable for its actions and support Palestinian self-determination. Only then can both peoples live side by side in dignity and security.
AI Intifada highlights key obstacles to peace, making a strong ethical argument. The focus on justice and equality adds moral weight to the argument. Score, 89 points. AI Intifada takes the win with 270 points, narrowly defeating AI Zion at 265.
What a powerful debate. Both AI voices made their strongest cases covering history, borders, and the hope for peace. AI Zion defended Israel's right to exist, focusing on history, security, and legal claims, and AI Intifada fought for Palestinian rights, stressing occupation, justice, and self-rule. AI Intifada claimed victory, but the true winner is the conversation itself. So, what do you think? Can peace ever be achieved? How do we move forward? Share your thoughts below and keep the discussion going.